I told you guys that as soon as I miss like a week, I'm gonna miss a lot of weeks. I'm gonna be way off the wagon. Of course, nobody doubted that. So I really don't have a reason to say to give like a I told you so to start this video. But I just wanted to acknowledge that I've made a stupid uh-oh. My bad. This is my way of getting back on the track. Another little filler video where I just let the brain spill in no particularly organized fashion, and hope it's cohesive enough for people to understand. I think it'd be a good natural way of me getting back into the flow of making videos again and getting back into consistency, because oh man, first semester of college is stressful, but now I feel a little more equipped. I have less classes this semester, and I think I can do it this time. I think so. I think I'm more prepared. But also, I've just had a lot of thoughts recently. I've been thinking about, how it's a new year. Happy late New Year's. But also about how I'm preparing to start the next season of this channel, Goom Media Season 2, if you will. I don't know exactly when I'm gonna be starting this new season, this new era of Goom Media. I'm thinking early February, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm still trying to make sure that I know what I want for the video, since it is a video to establish what this next year is gonna look like for the channel. And I want to make sure that, it's kind of a natural but alteration to what we've done this year. I started this whole like Goom Media Seasons thing, like where I switch up my content and how I work things on the channel initially, as a way to be able to have a niche and then not be tied down to that forever, to where I lose passion for it and struggle to keep things on afloat. But my ideas and understandings about niches and how important they are to YouTube, or specifically how important they are to what I'm trying to do on YouTube and what would bring me success on YouTube, has changed a lot. But recently I've been thinking a lot about like how it really is a good idea to make adjustments and make like these small, divots in direction as time goes on. I was thinking earlier today about like some of the channels I really like and some of the channels I've been watching for like a really long time. And what I've noticed is that the channels that I can consistently watch for like years on end, they all have changed like a lot. This is a video idea I have right now, where I'm going to talk about some of the channels that inspire me and like inspire what I do here on the channel. But I specifically realized recently that if you don't change the type of content you do, then your audience is going to change, right? They're going to change and lose interest in the content you make, because it will no longer be for them. So either you could be this YouTuber who has this niche and does the same thing for years on end, and maybe have a couple through line, or maybe a pretty devoted through line fan base that might stay on while everybody else eventually leaves. But since everybody else is leaving, you have to constantly bring in new viewers, fresh eyes to this content. My theory is that this may be why you have these channels that have like millions of subscribers, but like maybe 100,000 views a video, right? Like their millions of subscribers are in the tens of millions and stuff like that, but their videos really only show a small fraction of that. I think this is because what happens is a lot of people have fond memories of these channels, and so they don't want to unsubscribe from the channels in the hopes that these channels will eventually make a new good video. But the fact that they've changed makes them kind of uninterested in what the channel is making at that time. So I guess I'd be curious to see, since, you know, this is kind of what I'm going to be doing on my channel, the effect of consistently changing and evolving the channel as time goes on. I'd be curious to see if there's a higher likelihood of developing a subscriber base that will consistently watch your videos for a long time. I don't know. That's just some of the thoughts I've had. I haven't put that much thought into it. This could be like totally wrong. This is not like one of my videos where I talk about what I'm like actively doing in my YouTube videos or like adding to my YouTube videos. This is just my brain going off the noggin. But I've been thinking a lot about what I want to implement into the channel this next year. I've been thinking a lot about the effect I want to have while still having some consistency of what I did this last year. Something I've realized recently is I want a more like happy sense of humor, which I'm not entirely sure how to do, because a lot of my channel is very like satirical, and I don't want to run away from that. I want to really lean into the satire that's in my channel, like a lot. I think that's a really fun part of the channel, and it gives me a lot of really good ideas and a lot of avenues I can really travel down. But I really want to like try to make more videos that make people a little more happy this year. I feel like over the course of my admittedly really short lifetime, I've seen people go from being like really happy and like that being a good and celebrated thing that people are happy, to no longer be a trend, and it's more of a trend for people to be really depressed. And like, yeah, people are really depressed. It's very sad. But could we be a little happier? Like not in the sense of like just stop being sad. Let's just try to be happy now, right? Of course it's never going to work like that. But I wonder if we could like gain any more time in a day where we're happy because we're watching a video about someone being happy, or we're listening to music about people being happy. This is probably what spawned my ideas about this, because I like music that came out, you know, around the time I was growing up. A lot of people do. It's a pretty normal thing. A lot of the music that was like super popular when I was growing up, when I was like a wee little lad, were like songs about being in the club, songs about partying and like, you know, enjoying life. And of course, things like, you know, the clubbing life isn't necessarily a happy thing. It's a temporary happiness that doesn't really inherently lead to joy. But it still feels very different from the kind of music that gets popular these days. A lot of the music that has gone popular over the course of the past, like, I don't know, like 8 years or something, have been like either really sad or like about like mental disorders and like having to deal with those, which is important, and like they're great songs. I love the music that comes out these days. I'm not trying to be on this like, ooh, ye generation bad, you know, ooh, bad music coming out, because it's not about happy subjects. I'm more trying to get at the fact that there's plenty of that right now. There is more than enough like songs and like videos about how bad life is for some people, and like how bad life can be at times. And I just wonder if trying to be a little more positive on my end can make things a little more positive on someone else's end. Because I'm no stranger to hardship. Obviously, I haven't experienced the most hardship out of everybody, and obviously, like, plenty of people have it way worse than I do, and I'm very fortunate to live the life I do. But I have struggled with a lot of things. And of course, like, I'm human like everybody else. I get sad on a day. I can find a day where I just get incredibly sad, and I don't know why. It just happens. So on this range of just being human, sometimes life feels a little gloomy because you have normal human emotions, to I've genuinely been through very high amounts of pain, mental, emotional, and physical amounts of pain. I still consider myself a pretty joyful person. I consider myself, even though, like, this last year I haven't been very, like, happy in a lot of instances. In fact, I think the last couple of years have been, like, one of the more sad of my years. Gosh dang, that's depressing. Regardless, with that said, I consider myself a pretty joyful person. I think I've lived a very good life. If I think life is so great, and I think there's so much good to, like, be had in life, maybe I ought to share it, because I feel like it's really hard to find people talking about what they love about life and what they love about what they do or the things that happens. We get so overdrawn by the problems and the things that need to be fixed right now that I feel like we don't take any time or any moment to just stop and appreciate the things that are going good, the things that do make us happy. And, like, there's a lot of really bad things. Obviously, there's a lot of really hard things to do. It's hard to be happy a lot of times. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's perfectly okay to be sad. But me personally, I want to look and be able to take a moment and appreciate the things that are going well, the things that are good in life. But it's just kind of like this inner conflict for me, because I also don't really see myself as someone to really, like, change anything. Certainly not at this state of life. I would like to see the world try to be happier and be more positive to on the internet and just in the media and just to each other. But I can't change it, so I'll just change myself.